Hey everyone, so I am recording this without a tripod, so I apologize if my hand is like shaking a little bit. So I wanted to come on here real quick and give an introduction to what I'm going to be posting soon, and also just a life update. So the life update is that I am not in my state anymore. I moved to a new state for a time, and I just need to get away from my hometown. It was not going well. People were like threatening me, and mentally I was becoming more depressed, more suicidal, excuse me, and just like overall just stressed out. I couldn't walk safely with my dog anymore. People literally were like, I'm gonna harm you and your dog if you do this, or grown men got in my face and yelled at me because they didn't agree with me. Which is fine, you can disagree with me, but you don't need to get in my face and yell at me. Like, that's not appropriate in any situation, especially not me as a person. Like, no. So, yeah, I am in a different state now with my dog, and we're doing okay. Not great, but not, like, awful, you know? We're just kind of hanging in there. But, yeah, so I'm going to be posting some audio clips. I've found a way to do it with iMovie, so you can record and also make it a movie, of me reading the book, The Forever Decision, about suicide, and just, like, really the book that helped me a lot throughout my life, and just, like, recently. And, you know, it just gives me that chance to just read over everything and think about it. I do want to say that I also have had a really good results out of a, not like a safety plan, but kind of like I have these people I can call when I need assistance, and I can put like coping strategies and distractions and like all these different things. It's in the safety plan app. It's an app on your, I think it's iOS. You can also get it on Android, I'm pretty sure. And it is VoiceOver accessible, Braille display accessible, so it's literally like a bunch of text boxes, and you can put in what you want. It helps me a lot because, like, you know, I need that kind of written promise to the people that I'm not going to commit suicide. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you all, it has been difficult. I've thought about it many, many times, and I haven't done it yet. I hope I won't get that desperate again, but, you know, it's life, so it could. Excuse me. I had an interesting experience at the airport yesterday. I was flying, and we were on the train, and the train opened, like the door opened on the train that's in the airport. So this guy was like standing there, and he almost like fell out of the train while it was moving, and we all jerked. And so when we jerked, I fell down. Someone like grabbed my arms and like held me up, and then the person standing next to me had an iced coffee in their hand, and it spilled all over Beacon. But the good part is we did run into other guide dogs here, and she is like very chill, very relaxed. She was not chill at first, like she was barking and like frightened. But once they got together and she knew the dog was not a threat, she was like, hey friend, how are you, you know? So that gives me hope that she's gonna be fine. Getting out of that environment is the best thing for her and myself, because it was just too toxic, honestly. And honestly, I don't know if I will come back to my hometown permanently or not. I'd rather not, but if I do, it'll be a while away, because I need time. People need to stop, honestly. I don't really see how this is allowed. People are, like, physically threatening me, and they're just like, whatever, you're not important enough, we don't care. And honestly, like, I don't know if that's their intent, you know, I don't know if they're actually going to do anything, because, like, they'll post something, and that's why I'm off social media mostly. They'll post something, like, threatening towards me, and, like, I will respond and say, normally I don't respond, but sometimes I'll be like, okay, like, elaborate, you know, and I just feel like I'm because this is being allowed to happen in my own town, with people I once trusted as friends, I'm hurt because they don't see me as a human. It's like they don't think that I'm important enough to be included in the town. Like, they're like, oh, well, you're blind and you have the dog, so we don't want to talk to you, we hate you, like, you know, I'm gonna come after your dog and you, and like all these things. And I'm like, it's not being taken seriously because I'm blind. And it's ironic because I know like lots of other blind people in my town that are like blind from, you know, older age and everything, and they don't have this problem. People see them as human, so I'm like, why? And people always say, oh no, it's not you, they see you as a person. And I'm like, man, if you can stand in a parking lot and watch someone get yelled at, screamed at, like spittle was flying from their lips, with an older man in front of a young woman, you know, I'm 24, in the middle of a public place, and not do anything, what does that teach that person that you're letting this happen to? Like, you're not going to stand up for them, you're just watching. You think it's entertaining. I don't know how that's entertaining. Like, how is it entertaining that an older gentleman is screaming at me because they don't agree with me about dogs? Like, seriously? People, there's more in life than just dogs. Like, chill. So, anyway, total rant, I apologize, but I had to get that out there. Also, if you're watching this from my hometown, most of you are good, but some of you are not, and shame on you, honestly. Shame on you. Because you have destroyed my confidence with my dog, and it's not ever going to come back fully. I will always be afraid of my hometown, and you have done nothing to increase my safety and confidence. So, I mean, there are some of you out there that are decent, but most of you just stand there. And that's the part that hurts the most, is people that I thought I could trust, they just stood there, they didn't do anything. They're just like, oh, well, it's her, we don't care. Like, that's the message you're sending by not doing anything. So, I'm gone now, there's nothing you can do, I'm not even in the state, so I'm not asking you for sympathy or anything, but, you know, I do need to let you know that I'm very hurt. I've grown up with all these people, you know, I've had friends with all these people, and it was just like, with all this happening, they're just like, we don't care, you're not important to us. So, you know, I'm working on not caring, but part of my soul cares, you know, because I grew up there, that's my hometown. So yeah, I just had to be real with you all, because honestly, my choices were leaving or suicide, so I didn't, obviously, and I'm gone. But yeah, it's been hard. And I don't normally post this stuff like real, you know, on YouTube and social media, because people are like all up in my business, but I don't think people are taking it as seriously as they should. You know, I'm a very generally positive person, but this depression is like worse than normal, and like, yeah, suicide had been an option for a while. It never really stopped, honestly. It was sort of like the thoughts kind of just lessened over time. But then, like, if something would happen that was like stressful or traumatic, it would bring it all back. So yeah, and as far as like PTSD is concerned, I want to talk about that issue as well. I am struggling with that because there are lots of tall men in this place that I am currently at, and they are tall, and yeah, they're visually impaired / blind, so they don't get in my space too much. Like, we're very like, hey, you're in my space, but like, it happens, you know, we you know, I'll reach for something and I'll touch their shoulder or whatever. But honestly, getting out of my hometown, not having that constant threat of violence, it's less. I can tolerate it. It's not overwhelming. I'm not gonna go like cry for 3 hours now, because I hope I would have, because you know there's a giant man in my space, but like here, I don't feel threatened by that. Okay, I don't feel as threatened as I normally would be. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that as well. I haven't really like gone out into the world at this new place, but I feel like this was the better choice than suicide. And I can say that honestly, because I've only been here like one day, and people are chill. But just finding someone who believes in you. Like, seriously, like, I was on the plane and this guy was talking about all these things in his life, and he just said, you know, I feel like you have conquered a lot of challenges in your life, and, you know, you don't want to be inspirational, that's not your point in life, but, like, you got up and went on this plane, and that says something to you. And I was like, or says something about you. And I was like, yeah, like, I guess, you know, and he was like, no, like, you could have just stayed in that depression, stayed in that suicidal frame of mind, even done it, you know, and succeeded with suicide. But you got on the plane, you came here to the airport of our place, and I was just, like, about in tears, because I was like, man, like, sir, you're only 27, so, random 27-year-old, if you're out there watching this, thank you. You have no idea how much I needed that yesterday. And, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and discuss that, kind of, you know, I'm real with you all. And I've kind of tried to lessen the impact of what I say on social media, but, like, no. I feel like I made the best choice for me. So even some of you would be like, don't run away from your problems, and I'm like, I'm not. They're still there. They're still going to be there when I get back to my hometown. Like, they're not going anywhere. But mentally, if I come back with the positive, more positive than negative, I think I'll be okay. Right now, my positive bucket is almost empty. I need like my negative bucket is like full. I need some good positives. I need some wins, some successes. And I think once I have that, suicide will be far removed from my thoughts. So, anyway, that's why I recorded that reading of that book. I know it's not great. It's not like commercial audio. But from one attempted suicide survivor to another, almost attempted. I didn't actually go through with it, but I was very close. It helps. It's like the most real thing I can think of to give you if you are on the brink of thinking about suicide, or even if you're, you know, you have a plan in place. Read this book first. Because honestly, what do you have to lose? If you take the time to read this book, you don't have anything to lose besides like 20 minutes of your life. And if you're gonna end it anyway, you know. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Some of you have been like super awesome about supporting me in person and online. I appreciate that. But this is a very real, honest video, and I really hope that it's helpful to someone out there in the world. And, you know, I think I chose well currently, but time will tell. But I'm really hoping I get some positive, because I need to outweigh the negatives in my life. So again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.